Okay. Alrighty. Oh, my comfy pillow. Hi guys. Oh, Luna. Oh my God. Alright, lay down, do what you're gonna do. Okay. Anyway, hi guys. I'm gonna do a little video today about oxalates. I hope you're all doing well. Let's start off with that. I hope you all are doing really well. And I'm doing this video about oxalates, which I started doing a lot of research about. Oxalates are, you know what, I'm going to read this to you real quick so you get the correct whatever. Oxalic acid is an organic compound found in many plants. These include leafy greens, vegetables, fruits, cocoa, nuts, and seeds. In plants, it's usually bound to minerals forming oxalate. The terms oxalic acid and oxalate are used interchangeably in nutrition science. Your body can produce oxalate on its own or obtain it from food. Vitamin C, in too large of a dose, can also be converted into oxalate. Once consumed, oxalate can bind to minerals to form compounds, including calcium oxalate and iron oxalate. This mostly occurs in the colon, but can also take place in the kidneys and other parts of the urinary tract. For most people, these compounds are then eliminated in the stool or urine. However, for sensitive individuals, high oxalate diets have been linked to an increased risk of kidney stones and other health problems. Okay, so one of the reasons I started deciding to check on this was because I got to thinking about when I was young, I had a lot of stomach issues. I even remember one of the medicines I had to take. It was, you know, back then, God, I'm 64, so this is going back. It was in a clear glass bottle and it was a green liquid. It was horrible, horrible tasting. And my doctor back then, the doctor my parents had, said, oh, she has a nervous stomach. Well, I got to thinking about it and I thought, wait a minute, this kind of followed me through life, and within the last week I've really thought about my health. And I stopped eating dairy because I became lactose intolerant after my fourth child was born, and I also started having problems with wheat after he was born. So I pretty much eliminated those just as treats here and there. Until recently, when I started eating all that crap because of the pills that allow you to take it, to eat it without problems, the lactate and the glutenese. So I was like, oh, I can eat them. And therefore I gained a lot of weight. Eating all the grains and all that crap, and dairy. So I got to thinking about my health, and I realized over all my life, when I would eat, you know, vegetables, certain vegetables, I thought, why do I get so much rumbling and stomach upset and maybe diarrhea, you know, gas, a lot of upsets. And, you know, of course, a lot of people out there will tell you, oh, it's the fiber, you know. Well, no, it's not always just the fiber. The oxalates can cause you a lot. Look it up, guys. I'll put the name of it in the box below. Oxalate, O-X-A-L-A-T-E, what they can do to people. And also, many years ago, I read a book, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called For Your Blood Type, by, I think it was, what was it, Peter D'Amo or something like that? I'll look that up too and put it. But he talks about how different blood types should eat certain foods. Well, I wasn't, you know, 100% on board with thinking that way. I thought, I don't know. But when I read the book, shockingly, I'm a type O. The type O's do very poorly on grains and dairy, very poorly. So, and this is just going back probably 20 years that I read this book. So, you know, I went through a lot of years with digestive issues. So, in his book, he states how type O's do much better on just a meat diet, just meat, you know, mainly meats. And then he does give you a list of fruits and vegetables that are more compatible with blood type O. Well, I pretty much let that go, whatever. It's like, whatever, you know how you try different things. Well, I've noticed over the past several months that if I just eat meat for the day, I feel fantastic. I feel great. Okay? Now, before, when I put on this weight, I was eating grains, I was eating dairy, lots of veggies, you know, lots of bad foods, junk food, ice cream, all that kind of crap, sweets that you're not supposed to eat. And therefore, I gained weight. Well, so I thought, wait a minute, this is quite a coincidence that when I eat certain veggies, I do get a lot of digestive issues. I mean, they bother me. Well, these oxalates are known to cause a lot of trouble. And also, when I was a little girl, I was hospitalized for kidney problems. And lo and behold, I just read it to you that oxalates can cause kidney problems. And then when I was pregnant with my first child, my kidneys literally stopped working. I was hospitalized for quite a while. They stopped working. They even thought I was going to abort my baby because my body was so toxic from my kidneys not working. But luckily, somehow, everything got back to working. So this makes me wonder now, because if you look up the various things that it can do to your health, a lot of them apply to me in terms of when I ate vegetables. And also, a lot of vegans out there, I've watched a lot of videos on vegans, and so many of them complain about stomach issues, digestive issues, brain fog, you name it, all this stuff. And yeah, because I personally, I can't understand being vegan. I just go to each his own, but I cannot understand it because we are animals and we're meant to eat meat. And when I see a lot of the vegans on their videos, so many of them look like they're that far from death because they're so emaciated. They look so malnutritioned, and they just look really bad, really, really bad. But, like I say, to each his own. And a lot of them don't want to associate it with their diet because they've gone over the deep end with this love of animals, which I love animals, but I'm an animal too, and I'm part of that animal food chain, and I know I'm supposed to eat meat in order to be healthy. There's a lot of videos, if you look it up, about ex-vegans who, what they went through while they were vegan and all the health issues they had. A lot of them applied to me in certain ways because of vegetables and fruits as well. There are a lot of fruits that have high oxalates. Like, for instance, strawberries, blueberries, the ones we're told are so healthy for us, they're very high in oxalates. And a lot of those vegans, they refuse to admit that it's their diet because their love of animals has taken them to a point where they will let their own health go straight to hell, and even their children's health go straight to hell. I mean, there are kids out there who have died from being put on a vegan diet. There are people who killed their animals from putting them on vegan diet, their dogs or cats. So they've gone to a place that's way out there. I, on the other hand, I like to research everything. I like to get, see viewpoints of all different types of things. And I've seen now that a lot of those vegan problems are what I had off and on throughout my life. Not every day, but off and on. So I stopped. Within the last just couple days. I have completely stopped. Oh no, it's been what? Since last Thursday. I'm stopping all vegetables. And there is a list of vegetables. If you get online and look up low oxalate foods, they'll tell you which ones are lower. But what I'm going to do is pretty much eliminate vegetables completely, pretty much carnivore diet. Because the last few days that I have eaten nothing but meat, I have felt incredible. I can't even tell you how much better I feel. My gut is completely calmed down. There's no rumbling. I'm not having gas, I'm not running to the bathroom with diarrhea. And not necessarily diarrhea, but very loose stools, I can't tell you how great my gut feels by just eating meat. I mean, I'm eating my meat, chicken, beef, bacon, what have you. So I decided I'm going to clear out my kitchen of all the stuff that I should not eat. No sweets. I got rid of the sweets. It will be a treat. Because as I've stated before, I'm never going to go forever without enjoying something I love. I will not live my life like that. To me, that's just craziness to, for a carnivore to say never eat a vegetable, and for vegans to say never touch meat, and people saying never touch sugar. I'm sorry, I will not live my life like that. But what I am learning is that in my case, and especially maybe being a type O blood, I don't know, maybe this doctor has something, I have felt incredible, guys. I feel so good. And I noticed another thing, that the skin on my face feels much moister. Believe it or not, I wake up in the morning, it's like, wow, it feels really moist. And I live in a desert. This is New Mexico. This is real desert. And I was surprised. I thought, wow, it feels pretty good. And so I'm going to take you on this journey with me. I had made my previous video to state I was going to do higher protein, but I'm going to go a little step further to see how I feel, because I did have to stop and think about my whole life and the times that I did have really bad digestive problems. Number one, the dairy. I didn't know I was lactose intolerant for about a year. I suffered, but throughout my life I'm thinking, geez, maybe that was there even when I was a child. And of course, back then, there was nothing about nutrition back then. It was just, oh, this is wrong, take this. Well, I've noticed, let's get to the graphic, the dirty stuff here. Also, just eating meat, my bowel movements are much more regular, and there's no diarrhea. There's no more diarrhea, no more loose bowels, no more of that. You know how you get that feeling where, oh, you got to go to the bathroom now? I would get that with vegetables and fruits. What I did discover in my case, which was completely coincidental, I love watermelon. I love watermelon. I love white nectarines very, very much. I love apricots. Okay, those are my three favorite fruits. I love bananas too, but even with bananas, if I eat bananas, I tend to bloat. And I know that's because of the high fructose. So I'm kind of watching that as well. And plus they're high sugar. So I noticed that when I have a slice of watermelon, I have no issues. No issues whatsoever. There's no rumbling, there's no gas, there's no diarrhea, there's nothing. Same with nectarines, same with apricots. So I'm finding the foods that really agree with my system. And strangely enough, those foods are on the low oxalate list. I got online, low oxalate list, the watermelon, the white nectarines, and the apricots. So I thought, wow, what a coincidence, that those work for me, and those are on the list. So I'm from here on out, it's going to be meat, all kinds of meat. I'm not into fish anymore because of the extreme toxins in the ocean. I used to love lobster and crab and seaweed. I love seaweed, for soups and stuff. I won't touch any seafood any longer because it is so toxic, thanks to Fukushima and all the plastics as well that they're finding in everything. I watched a documentary about, they were cutting open shrimp and they found little pieces of plastic in the shrimp. And of course, I'm sure you've heard the stories of all the large animals, the whales, what have you, that are dying from having tons of plastic in their stomachs. So I want nothing to do with any ocean food whatsoever. I find it, with that damn Fukushima still emptying stuff into the ocean because they don't give a damn about this country and their own people for that matter. They're still emptying radioactive stuff into the ocean. It hasn't stopped since 2011, guys. What does that tell you? And if you meet somebody who says, oh, it's so diluted in the ocean, you don't need to worry. Sorry, I don't buy that crap. Especially when they're finding all kinds of things in the ocean life. They're finding the toxins in there. So that's out. So I'm trying to stick with organic meats as much as possible. I won't always have organic because, number one, it's very expensive. And I like steak. My favorite is red meat. When I eat red meat, I feel my best. I love chicken. Pork, I'm so on. It just kind of depends on how it's cooked. I'm not a real big fan of pork. But meat, you know, beef, chicken, bison. Oh my God, I love bison. Oh, that is so good. I love duck. So I'm going to stick with that stuff. And I'll get as much organic as I can. But I like great big steaks, okay? I like lots of steak. And I'm sorry, you can get an organic steak this big and it's $20. Sorry, not doing that. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of balance it out and go from there. So guys, I'm going to start this journey with you. I already started, but you know, with you, I'm starting to vlog. I will vlog how I feel, you know, how it's going. As I said, I had lost 4 pounds by just eliminating sugars and grains for the time that I had made that last video. And corn, just vegetables. I'm not a real fan of vegetables anymore. And I knew somebody once, many years ago, who never touched vegetables, ate nothing but meat, and this person was tall and lean and healthy as could be. And I mean, he literally would not touch vegetables. He hated them, didn't want any part of them. And it does make me wonder how it is that babies and children automatically don't like vegetables. It's rare. I mean, I'm sure there are some that do, but the majority you hear, oh, he doesn't like green beans. Oh, he doesn't like this. Oh, he doesn't. It makes me wonder about that little baby that you feed that, you know, baby food to. Once they can eat, they're like, you know, it's like, whoa. Maybe there's some kind of instinctual thing there that we've managed to get rid of by constantly eating processed foods, grains, and all that garbage out there, you know. So yeah, I've done so much research on oxalates as well as fiber, what it does to the gut. Right now, I am actually taking care of a dog that I am healing with the help of my homeopathic doctor. She was actually bleeding internally and bleeding in her bowels and vomit. I took her off of the dog food that she's on, which contains wheat and grains and all that garbage, and I have her on my dog's food, which is grain-free, and bone broth. I fasted her for 48 hours on bone broth, and this little, she's not little, she's big, she was the one that was right here. This dog went up like this in health, and she's happy, she's running around. Her bowels are healing. This morning when she went to the bathroom, there was just a tiny streak of red. And if you had seen what I saw before, I about fainted. It was red, pure red coming out of her. And my homeopath said, it's those grains, get her off the food immediately. Well, she's already healing. This morning she went to the bathroom, normal brown stuff, guys. Just a little streak of red, and I called my homeopath, and she goes, yep, she's healing. Her gut is healing. So for those 48 hours, I gave her nothing but bone broth that I made. I don't buy the store-bought stuff because they put salt, they put different seasoning, herbs, whatever. I want pure bone broth for my dogs, and I give that to my dogs. So that's what I gave her for 48 hours, and she was fine, happy, running outside, just doing her usual thing as though she had not been fasted. And you know how dogs are, if they're sick, they'll stop eating on their own. So anyway, she's healing now. She's doing really well. I'm so proud of her. She's just coming around once I got her off of all those grains and all that, you know, stuff that she shouldn't have. But you know, her owners are wonderful. They love her to death, and they're willing to just switch the foods right away, which I'm glad, because once I put her on my dog's food, she started healing. Minus all those grains, and I'm proof of that. I ate grains, I ate dairy, I ate lots of vegetables that are high starch veggies. I gained weight. I had a lot of gut issues, guys. I was getting a lot of them, and I knew it was from eating all those vegetables and fruits and crap that they're really pretty much not that much nutrition. And of course there are people out there who are going to say, oh, I'm on a vegan diet and I do great. Well, that's good for you, but I've also seen a lot of people when I'm at Whole Foods and natural grocery stores and stuff, who are vegan and they think they look fantastic and they look like they're 30 years older than they are, but they don't see it. Their vegan friends and family don't see it, and that's their life. You know, they think they look great. And I will be standing there looking at them thinking, my God, you're only 50, you look like you're 80. That's the way it goes. I, for one, am a firm believer of eating animal foods. We are part of an animal food chain, and in my view, vegans are trying to change that, the human biology of what we are. We're part of the animal food chain. And those that don't eat animal products, I've seen a lot of things where, my gosh, it's terrible what I've seen. The starvation mode, the malnutrition. If you get online and go on YouTube and go look up malnutritioned vegans, my God, it's scary. It's absolutely scary, not just how they look, but how they act. And of course, this isn't all of them. Some of them, they've just began. The ones I'm talking about, I've seen, you know, for years and years. It just depends, I guess. But I know I'm not willing to risk my health, and I was certainly not willing to risk my children's health by putting them on nothing but plants. Sorry, not going to do it. So anyway, guys, back to the way I'm going to be eating. I will take you along with this journey. I'm going to show you what I did in my kitchen, just so you can see how serious I am about this. Because once I started reading all about these oxalates, I thought, man, so much of what they cause I was going through with all this plants. You know, you grow up, eat your veggies, eat your fruit. Well, not in my case. Even something as simple as eating you know, like I love grapes, but I can only eat a handful because they will give me diarrhea. So, and strawberries. I had bad reaction to strawberries many years ago, and lo and behold, they're high in oxalates. So I've kind of eliminated strawberries. I'll eat one once in a blue moon as, you know, oh, that was good, but that's it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to show you my fridge real quick here. Hold on. Excuse me, guys. I got to undo this camera. Okay. Hi, Luna. Say hello. She's doing much better. She's doing so good. Yes, she is. And there's Capone. Say hi, Capone. No? Okay. He's like, I don't think so. So anyway, guys, I'm going to show you real quick. This is my freezer. You know what? Let me turn on the other light. That's kind of dark. Okay. All right, here's my freezer, guys. That's it. That's it. I eliminated everything, but this is chicken. This is sausage. This is organic ham. Chorizo. I gotta have my chorizo with my eggs, guys. Sorry. I love chorizo. But my organic bacon. And there's some more chicken. And here's some chicken livers. And here's the veggies that I'm getting rid of. You know, if my son wants them, he can have them. Because he kind of eats whatever. But Brussels sprouts, broccoli, all that, which have caused broccoli and Brussels sprouts, all that stuff, they cause me a lot of gas and indigestion. I don't have any desire to have that anymore. So right now, this is I'm gonna eat everything until this is all gone, all of it. And why? Because, guys, you know that habit where you go and you buy even though you don't need, and then you end up with all this stuff in the freezer and it ends up with that nasty freezer taste. I had a habit of doing that. I'm not going to now. I'm going to finish everything I have in here before I go buy more groceries. And I will show you. Okay? Down here, this is just chicken broth, and dog food. I have to soften it for my dogs now that they have a lot of their teeth missing. This is some organic roast beef that I had already had. It was just applesauce and pears. Apples are very low in oxalate, so I will keep that. There's just some organic eggs that I love eggs. That is the almond creamer that I have for coffee. Now, almonds are very high in oxalates, so I'm gonna find another alternative. But at this point, guys, I'm not going to go to the extreme that I won't enjoy my morning cup of coffee. I can't use dairy, so I got the almond creamer, and I use just a dab for my coffee. So I am not going to mess up my morning cup of coffee because I love it. That's just the best to me. And then there's my watermelon, the other half of it. As you see, the fridge is empty. I'm going to see, you can see, it's empty because I emptied everything out that isn't going to work in with my eating. Those are some grapes I had bought. Finished those off. And then in the side door, I got rid of everything as well. It's just seasonings, you know, just little seasonings for your food here and there. For my meat that I'm going to be eating. So you see that. So that's pretty much that. Then I have this side cabinet where I used to have it filled with all kinds of stuff. I mean, filled. These are veggies I had already purchased. I'm going to give these to my son. I did not know that yams, sweet potatoes, are extremely high in oxalates. Did not know that. But like I said, I'm not giving everything up. I'm just going to start with a high carnivore at this point, and I will treat myself now and then. But you can see I've eliminated. I have my chocolate chips because I will occasionally make some chocolate chip cookies as a treat once in a blue moon. And I have to use almond flour because I can't eat wheat. But that's going to be a rare thing. And there's some tomatoes, which I did not know were high in oxalates as well. And no more seeds. No more seeds. I had already bought those. And as you can see, I had gotten rolled oats that were gluten-free. No more of those. No more almond milk because they are made. It is made of almonds, high in oxalates. Believe it or not, Jell-O is not high in oxalates. So I occasionally like that as a treat. I grew up eating Jell-O with bananas. So once in a blue moon, I make that as a sweet treat. So yeah, you can see there's pretty much nothing in there really. That's just, you know, my parchment paper, plastic, foil, that kind of stuff. And here's the other cabinet I have, which used to be filled with all kinds of stuff. Well, there's the honey, my New Mexico honey. And then I had gotten these sweet potato noodles from my little Korean store up the street because I can't eat wheat. And I was sick of, I couldn't stand all the other type of flours that were used to make noodles, you know. I tried them all. Chickpea, I tried all kinds of gluten-free noodles. I did not like them. These sweet potato noodles, you can see them, I love. So that is going to be a treat too. That's going to be a treat since I'm trying to eliminate this. And then I do have all these rices that I had previously bought because these are a treat, guys. I'm not a grain, I'm just not into grains. I haven't been for a long time. But as I said, I like to treat myself occasionally. So I have different kinds of rices that I got. You know, they're organic rices. Red one, black one. I don't know if you can see, but there's the color of that one. And that one, black, and then jasmine and sushi rice. So that's going to be a treat. The rest is just nothing, no food really. That's no food stuff. So that's emptied out too. And then this one is strictly, you know, all your spices and all that stuff. That's all spices and things, and then just, you know, stuff down there. But that's it. I cleared everything out, guys. So anyway, just wanted to tell you, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to do the high, you know, the mainly carnivore. That's just going to be pretty much it for me. Because I really have discovered how vegetables have messed me up in many, many areas. Corn, oh, well, we all know corn, we don't even digest that. So guys, that's it. I will try to vlog every day, letting you know how I feel, what I'm eating, that type of thing, and other things as well. I'm not going to just talk about my diet, that'd be boring. But just to let you know this is what I'm starring. So take care, guys, have a good day, and I will see you, I don't know, maybe later, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. It depends on my mood to video. Talk to you later, guys. Have a good one.